我们先敬礼，传承祖师。
First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Bang Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zeng Kong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dukden Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. And homage to the main deities of Homa today, the Pure Land Trinity, Amitabha, Tathagata, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, and Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva. 师母，各位上师、教授师、法师、Dukden Siddhi Rinpoche, all Dhamma masters, Dhamma educators, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma lecturers, Dhamma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all participating VIPs. Today, from Academia Sinica, Professor Zhu Si-yi and Mrs. Zhu, the former Chief Secretary of the Taiwan government, Mr. Zeng Peifu and Mrs. Zeng, 国民党南投县党部主委杨立川先生， and from the chairman of the KMT Nantou County Party Committee, Mr. Yang, and the Director General of the KMT Nantou County, Mr. Wu. Members of the Troubadour School Scholars Group and Medical Group. The General Manager of the Jingyi Enterprise, Ms. Zhang. From Malaysia, Datuk Li Hai An and his wife, Latin Li Qing, and their daughter, Miss Li Qi. And the Datin from Malaysia, Miss He Fei. And the wood sculptor, Mr. Jian. My university same classmate, 朱金水先生及夫人陈泽霞女士。Mr. and Mrs. Zhu Jinsui. And the host to the Great Perfection Dharma, Lamdre and Sutta Perfect Enlightenment, Miss Keijin. My sister, Lu Taiwan. My sister, Lu Guoyin 女士跟男大师们。 And the producers for the Illuminating Your Heart program of CTI TV Taiwan, Miss Rebecca Xiaji. And thank you to the Spring Breeze Heart Reading Club for the donation of 120,000 NT dollars. And from Hong Kong, Dharma Sister Ge Hui Xian for her donation of 100,000 NT dollars. And from Hong Kong, Dharma Brother Ge Hao Ku for his donation of 100,000 NT dollars. And from Hong Kong, Dharma Sister Huang Zhou Sao Fang and family for their donation of 100,000 NT dollars. Last night, at home, I found it's quite noisy in my room. And when I opened my eyes, and I saw there were many ghosts coming, visiting. And my bedroom is not that big. But they changed themselves to become very small. And they're all bearing banners. So the Bardo deliverance this time is very special. Why did all of them hold the yellow flags or banners? Many of them. So when I lit the Homa fire earlier, and I saw all the offerings, and just now you could go and see. And sure enough, on the offerings there are lots of tiny yellow flags. On each of the boats there are the yellow flags. So this is a match. The right responses, because I saw the yellow flags. And did we ever have that before? We did? How many years ago? Recently, do we have yellow flags? Just tiny yellow flags in front of the Homa fire pit. In circle, they're all these yellow flags. So that's what I saw. Oh, I forgot to say my greetings. Good afternoon, everyone. How do you do?
Hola, amigo, que quiero mucho. Merci beaucoup. And Saoji. 刚刚有讲过 Hola, amigo, que quiero mucho. Skoin. 一番気持ちいい。今天这个法会就比较晚一点。
So the ceremony today started quite late. So there's only 21 minutes before dinner time. But it's okay. So the ceremony today is extremely supreme. I could feel it. The Dharma ship, there are many Dharma boats or Dharma ships of Amitabha Buddha that are going toward the Western paradise. And on top of these Dharma boats, there are innumerable lotuses, so many lotuses. And then I saw the spirits sitting on top of the lotuses, holding this small yellow flag. And then today, there's also another extraordinary thing is someone won the lottery. And he said it quite loudly, and I told him not too loud. And then he gave me something, and then I took it right away. I didn't want anyone to see. Someone won a lottery. That's a good thing. So through Buddha School, gradually changing our system, and the True Buddha Scholars Group is planning to set up a graduate school. It seems like they are ready, but it's difficult. So it's like the east wind. So, and today we have the northeast wind. Grandmaster never asked for money. That's my precept. I would never ask for money from anybody. That's my promise, my precept to my gurus. The Venerable Monk Liao Ming told me, when you get into the society, never to ask for any money. So I just say that they lack the east wind, so they lack some funds, so hope that the wind will blow more. So what does it mean? If you understand, you understand. If you don't, you don't. So it's up to you. So today we are talking about the Pure Land Trinity, and this is my Yidam. Master Nona said, someone asked him, what is the greatest Dharma practice of Tantrayana? And Master Nona replied, it's the great Dharma of Amitabha. So nowadays, all the monks and nuns would say Amitabha when they greet each other. But in the movies, they would say Amitofo. But actually for us, in Tantrayana, is Amitabha, not O. Or it's like black, so all black and dark. But no, we are white and bright, so we should say Amitabha, Amitabha, Amitofo. So in the movies, it's always like that. They always say Amitofo, but we would say Ah. So there's some dialect, some changes in pronouncing it, but Buddhists greet each other with Amitabha. It's very useful. In the morning, when you see each other, you say Amitabha. Before you eat, you say Amitabha. After you eat, you say Amitabha. After you get out from the latrine, you also say Amitabha. And you say Amitabha for everything. So Amitabha is highly revered in Pure Land. So the first patriarch of the Pure Land sect is Huiyan, the Venerable Huiyan of Mount Lu or Lusan. So the Pure Land sect was founded by him. And in Alaska, we had a chapter called the Huiyan chapter. So that's the name based on the Mahayana Buddhism in Alaska. As all of you know, Amitabha Buddha is of infinite life and infinite light. So he has infinite light and infinite life. And his two attendants are Guan Yin, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, the most famous one. In Buddhism, Guan Yin or Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva is worshipped in each and every household. Like in Taiwan, they always enshrine the Guan Yin, Canon, Lokesvara or Avalokitesvara. And his other attendant is Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva. He's not as well known. But at the beginning of my Buddhist study, my survey team is the 5'8" is at the South Gate Bridge, the survey team there. I was very lucky. After I graduated from the survey engineering college, I worked as a survey engineer. So actually there were only 3 people that were dispatched there. One is Hu Zixian, my classmate, and the other one Xiao Tang, my classmate. And Mr. Zhu Jingshui knew. So from class 32nd, from the Zhongzhen Technical Institute, only 3 graduates were sent to do survey engineering in the military. So very, very lucky. You know, I heard that you need some support, some networking in order to go work at the survey engineering part of the military. but I did not rely on anybody. And the leader asked, "So where are you from?" "Taichung." And then from Taichung, then go back to Taichung where? To the Taichung Survey Engineering team. Wow. As a graduate from the Survey Engineering College, there are only very few who can actually work as a survey engineer. And Mr. Zhu Jingshui, how about you? Oh, I was at the map factory. You were dispatched there from the beginning? When we graduated, there's some that was dispatched to the Air Force, Navy, or the
学那测量没有用那测量，还好我是见到氧
and the battle team, so that's why they didn't do anything related to survey. But luckily, I met Golden Mother. And Golden Mother asked me, after you graduate from the Survey Engineering College, where would you want to go? Which department? And which location and which unit, workplace? And I said, well, because I graduated from Survey Engineering College, I want to become a survey engineer. And because I was living in Taichung, I want to live in Taichung. So I worked in the military for 14 years in Taichung, all of them. All of the years. After I complete my work at the survey engineering team, I work at the map factory, also in Taichung. And they're all related to the survey engineering work unit. And I was in the military for a total of 14 years. And then past the surveying unit, there's a hospital called Puti Hospital. And then there is a memorial hall, Taixi. And at that time, there was a Buddhist who was teaching Buddha Dharma, and he was the lay Buddhist Li Bingnan, giving Dharma talk at that memorial hall. And I went to listen to his talk. I visited him. And he lived in Zhenqi Road, number 9 in Taichung. I remember his address. And this Mr. Li Bingnan said that Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva after a circle, I got to know Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva. So, as the Pure Land follower, there is the Amitabha Sutra, and then the Amitabha Sutra of infinite life, and then the treatise of rebirth in the Pure Land. They may not be right, what I said about these 3 sutras. So Amitabha Sutra, the Sutra of Infinite Life, and there's another sutra that I forgot. And then there's also the Bardo Deliverance, or actually the treatise on the rebirth to the Pure Land. And at that time, Mr. Li Pingnan gave Dharma talk at the Jinian Memorial Hall, and every day I listened to him. So I got to know Mahasamaprapta Bodhisattva then. And because of this Mr. Li Pingnan, I took refuge in the Venerable In Shin. And then I took refuge in someone from Hong Kong. Do you know who? So the principal of the Chinese Buddhist Association, the Venerable Dao An, and then a monk from Hong Kong who built a Dao Guang temple in Puli. Who knows? Yes, the Venerable Le Guo. He's from Hong Kong. So he's at the Fo Guang temple in Puli. You know, the gate of the Fo Guang temple was based on my feng shui consultation then. So this Fo Guang temple is close to the Zhongtai temple. And from the mountain at the Fo Guang temple, you can see the night scene of Puli. So those are the three gurus of Mahayana Buddhism. My three gurus. So in the beginning, I chant Amitabha Buddha as much as I could. That I chanted until Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva came to teach me the sutra of leaving home, leaving the house. So don't think that the sutra for good business was created by Grandmaster. No, I was taught by Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, the white robe Guan Yin was extremely beautiful at somebody's house. And the hosts of that house knew that Grandmaster was a Buddhist, and they asked me to recite a sutra, and I did. And then I came home. But their Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva followed me home. And then I told the elderly lady across the street that, hey, your Guan Yin Bodhisattva followed me home. And she got really angry. Hey, that's my Guan Yin. How could she go to Sang Yen Lu's house? And she argued, and I said, okay, fine, it's yours. But indeed, Guan Yin came to my house, and then she taught me this sutra for good business. Actually, this is what Han Guo-yi, Mr. Han Guo-yi, keep saying nowadays, is that the people come and the products goes, and then we earn a lot of money. The sutra for good business. As we open the door, we meet Buddhas everywhere. In the front, to the left, to the right, everywhere. Buddha, 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 Buddha is everywhere. And then all my products are sold out. And people come, products out, and we earn lots of money. We get rich. So Mr. Han Guo-yi, he learned it from me, and now he knows how to use it. Of course, it's not that he's copying, but it's the same principle. You know, it's the same when you are doing trading or selling things or opening shops. You need the sutra for good business, and I can say it in English.
This morning, I opened the door. I see that Wan Sri Bodhisattva. Easter have so many Buddha. West have so many Buddha. North have so many Buddha. South have so many Buddha. Buddha, 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 Buddha. My item also. 就是这样啊。我的东西全部卖出。
All my things are sold out.
厉害耶！
So that's how incredible our Lu-Taiwan Bodhisattva was, and Mahastama Bodhisattva too. You may not know how incredible he is. Let me ask, Mahastama Bodhisattva, are you Vajrasattva? Or Samantabhadra Bodhisattva is Vajrasattva? Are you or Samantabhadra? Okay. He said, Samantabhadra Bodhisattva and Mahastama Bodhisattva are both emanation of Vajrasattva. And who is Vajrasattva? Vajrasattva is the founder of Tantric Buddhism, of Tantrayana. Nagarjuna Bodhisattva opened the iron gate of South India and met Vajrasattva. And Nagarjuna Bodhisattva is one of the 8 great patriarchs. So in Tantrayana, Nagarjuna is the patriarch on earth, and Vajrasattva is the Dharma prince of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. So Mahastama Bodhisattva is an emanation of Vajrasattva. See how great he is? So when these 3 deities come, then you are guaranteed to be reborn into the Mahadabha lotus ponds of the Sukhavati or Western paradise. So the primary supplicants today are extremely lucky because there are so many Bardo spirits are being taken by the Pure Land Trinity to the Western paradise. So Amitabha Buddha is truly great. Of course, nothing more to say. Of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, the most famous one. Yeah, Vairocana Buddha, Akshobha Buddha, Ratnasambhava Buddha, Amoghasiddhi Buddha, and Amitabha. And Amitabha Buddha is most well known. Padma Kumara, or the Lotus Youth, is also an emanation of Amitabha Buddha. So just now, when I just started the invocation and the blessings, that the Pure Land Trinity first bless the malas and then Golden Mother bless the mala. Usually, it's Golden Mother first that give the blessing, and then the main deity of Homa give the blessing. Typically, it's always Golden Mother first, but this time, it's the Pure Land Trinity give the blessing first, and then Golden Mother. So this is what I saw today. So anyone who are sick or missing anything, then you can pray to Amitabha Buddha, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, and Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva, then your prayers will be granted. For sure. So Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva is extremely compassionate that he or she will appear anytime she's asked for. And she's always delivering you from the ocean of suffering. So at that time when Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva came to my house, and then that elderly lady who owned the Kuan Yin Bodhisattva got angry and came to find me at the house. And how could I don't allow my Kuan Yin Bodhisattva to go to your house? And yet Kuan Yin descended on her and she slapped her own face and kept slapping. So the lady kept slapping her own face, and then she cried out, okay, I don't dare anymore, just go wherever you want, it's fine. That was really true. Did my sisters see that? So that elderly lady from right across the street from my house, and her Kuan Yin did come to my house. And then I was looking for the same statue. So although that Kuan Yin came to my house, I wouldn't be able to take her statue with me, right? And then doesn't matter how I try to find the same kind of statue, the same size, the white Kuan Yin, I couldn't find anyone. And then I asked the Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, are you from the lady's house across the street? And she said, no, I'm from your house. So the Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, does it belong to the lady across the street or to me? But there are so many Kuan Yin Bodhisattvas, innumerable, uncountable. And from my old house that are now at the Taiwan Temple, the one that's white, that's exactly the same as the one at that lady across the street. My sisters would know. She went to our house, and as she was leaving, she was slapping her face. It's like she lost control over herself. It's like she's becoming a medium, so that her face became like the Hong Kong people would curse, saying that you're like the skin, the pig skin. So when the Hong Kong people say that to other people, meaning that you're so dumb, dumbo, that's Cantonese. Is it Cantonese? Yes. So you can't say that to people. But that old lady, his face after she slapped herself was almost like that pig skin, pig head skin. So look, Bodhisattva in trying to help sentient beings is extremely responsive. And Simu's mother came for consultation, and Simu was also there. And his mom asked me, my daughter here, when is she getting married? And I said, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Simu's mother, Simu's mom said that my daughter cannot get married. And I said, don't worry, she'll get married at 26 and someone 30 years old will marry her. You know, as a military man, I was very poor. You know, I only earned 300 NT dollars a month. My salary was only $300 US NT dollars. Actually, 280 Taiwanese dollars. Just very little. Of course, nobody wanted to marry me, of course. I was so poor. But she could not she cannot get married, so I might as well just marry her. Because nobody else wanted me. And her family all said, never ever marry this Mr. Lu Tsang, because military man is very poor. Everybody is opposed it. But she said, our family is even more, is poorer than the military man. We don't even have food to eat. But marrying a military man, at least we have food. Because we have like food stamps. Like there's some like rice and flour and some oil distributed regularly. So that's why Simu married me. So see, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva is very responsive. And at those times, I knew everything, lots of things. As someone walks in, there's no need for you to say anything. I would know. All you have to do is to write your address. And I know how many people are in that household, how many are men, how many are women. And then if what I say is incorrect, then there's no need to proceed with the spiritual consultation. So I did a fortune telling then in the morning, and then I give feng shui consultation in the afternoon. And any visitor would just write an address, and immediately I would know how many adults in the household, how many children, and then among the siblings, you are what number? And then only when what I said was accurate that we could continue with the consultation. And it was always very accurate. So just for one morning, I could give consultation to 300 people. And in the afternoon, I would give consultations on lands and properties. At those times, it was extremely accurate. And even the investigators who went to my house, the investigator was sitting in front of me. And Golden Mother told me, please don't tell anything. Just ask him to leave because he's just investigating you. And I told him, please leave. And the second one I said, oh, please leave, for a total of 5 or 6 people. And they all came from the Taichung investigation unit. And then the chief of the investigation unit, also by the family named Lu, the same as me, came to see me, to visit. I apologize. Those 6 people were very adamant about their views, and they wanted to write reports about you, but good thing that you did not tell them anything. So they went back and told of you, so I came now. Really. And I was on the train and someone sat by me, next to me, and I was testing. Someone sitting next to me on the train. And I asked Golden Mother to consult on this person. And I took a piece of paper and I said, there are 5 siblings in your house and you're number 3. And your work now, and then the layout of your house. And then I wrote it on the piece of paper. And then I asked him, how many siblings do you have, mister? Why are you asking this? Oh, I'm just trying to do an experiment. And then he told me 5. And you are number? And he said 3. And then I showed him that piece of paper. He was shocked. Who are you? How could you know about me and my situation? I said, no, I didn't know. I was just experimenting. That's how I did my divination. I was helped by the heavens. At those times, it was extremely accurate. Someone came. Hey, I'm a college graduate, and why should I listen to you, a fortune teller? And Golden Mother told me that his mouth would be twisted as soon as he left, and sure enough, he did. And I asked him to come back in, and he did. So do you want to fix your mouth? And then he said, oh, you are so accurate. And then I tapped on his face, and his mouth became normal again. And then he said, oh, you're incredible. These were all true stories. So we got what we want. So the Jinghe Hospital, the mental hospital of Taichung, the psychiatrists there, if they cannot cure the patients, they would tell their family members, the patient's family members, that they may want to try that the Yixing Seqi neighborhood at the second alley there. Just go find Master Lu there to help. So many of these mentally disturbed or mad people came to visit me for help. So second alley number 26, that residence, right? So the whole train of the mentally disturbed patients were all cured by me. But let me tell you one thing. When I left the Yixing neighborhood, I went to the Jingwu villa, and then I immigrated to United States. So now the Yixing 32nd alley number 26 is left empty and haunted. Nobody dared to live there. Anyone trying to live there was being chased out by the ghost. See, I have helped so many ghosts during my stay at that house. So all the ghosts that I captured, I kept at that house, and I didn't bring them out, bring them anywhere. And then nobody ever dared to live in that house. And you can ask my eldest younger sister. And she lived across the street from the house. So the house is still empty till now. Nobody ever dared to live there. Of course, there's so many ghosts inside it, because most of the mentally disturbed people were due to the invasion of ghosts. So when I moved, of course, they couldn't come with me, and they couldn't go to Seattle with me. So they all still stayed there at the Yixing 32nd alley number 26. And the owner is from Taipei, but nobody dared to live there or to stay there. They were always chased out by the ghost. So the practice is very simple. You just visualize Amitabha Buddha, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, and Mahasama Bodhisattva. And the mudra, one is Amitabha meditation mudra, and then the open lotus mudra for Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, and then the lotus bud mudra for the Mahasama Bodhisattva, because he's carrying a bud, lotus bud. The mantras. Very simple. You can treat them as yidams. You can practice all three together too, and that would be extremely great. And the Lamdre today is rather simple. And the benefit for the body and mind, the fruition for the benefit of the body and mind are four kinds. First, when the ambrosia enters into the central channel and solidifies at the navel chakra, it can please the hearts of all sentient beings. And the poisonous snake in embrace wild beasts following the tongue shows its goodness, especially to tame the greedy woman. Second, when it solidifies at the heart chakra, a little bit of transcendent power will appear. Third, when it solidifies at the throat chakra, the tongue can touch the brow point and inwardly touch the small tongue to taste all sorts of worldly taste. Fourth, when it solidifies at the crown chakra, one can transform into birds and deer, can fly and float in space, and this sort of small transcendent power will appear. And then the fruit for the benefit of the mind There are also 4 kinds. When it solidifies at the navel chakra, the samadhi of bliss and emptiness can reach the self-continuum and nothing else. This is small. When it solidifies at the heart chakra, pleasure rises from the real situation. This is middling. When it solidifies at the throat chakra, all things rise to emptiness and bliss, and this is great. When it solidifies at the navel chakra, it can reach the great samadhi of great bliss and emptiness of both nirvana and rebirth, and this is gigantic. Let me explain. First, when red body and white body are solidifying at the navel chakra, you can let sentient beings like you develop magnetism. As long as you can place the white and red body at the navel chakra, then everybody would think that you are the most capable, that you can tame the poisonous snakes and wild beasts. So you have power already, and especially is to tame the greedy woman in the consort practice. Because at that time you have attained non-leaking. So you would be able to tame the greedy woman. So it means that you are able to perform the consort practice or dual execution. And when it solidifies at the heart chakra, you would generate a little bit of transcendent power. So that's at the heart chakra. When the red and white body can solidify at the throat chakra, the tongue can touch the brow point and inwardly touch the small tongue, which means the tongue can curl and taste all sorts of worldly taste. When it solidifies at the crown chakra, you can appear as birds and deer, can fly and float in space and generate this sort of transcendent power. Let me tell you, just now, I emanate myself in the whole space. That's what happened earlier. I don't lie. You know, at night when I travel out of body, I can fly above the mountains, above all beings in the sky. I would fly every night. I can leave my body, travel, soul travel on the oceans, on the mountains, above everything. I was on the deck and I was wondering, can I jump? But please don't copy me. Don't stand on the deck and you think that you jump off the deck, that you would be able to fly. No, my soul, it was my soul who flies. And then as I was, actually my soul was jumping off the deck, and sure enough, I was floating in the air. And I could fly above the ocean, on top of the mountains, and then above everybody, and everybody looked up at me. Someone was flying in the sky. So when at the crown chakra, you would generate some small transcendent power. And the benefit for the mind, when it solidifies at the navel chakra, the samadhi of bliss and emptiness can reach the self-continuum and nothing. So at that time, you would be able to gain the meditative stability of emptiness and bliss. and that's small. And when it solidifies at the heart chakra, pleasure rises from real situation, not only in meditation, but also in real situation. And that's medley. And at the third chakra, all things rise to emptiness and bliss. So the second one is development stage, the third one is perfection stage, and the fourth one, when the white and red body solidifies at the navel chakra, it can reach the great samadhi of great bliss and emptiness of both nirvana and rebirth, and this is even better. And that's even better than the typical samadhi of emptiness and bliss. That's for Lamdre today. An elderly man was watching the dance, the bar, the pole dance. The pole dancing, like striptease, that his neck stiffened and his eyes was swollen. So next time you just look all over the place, don't just point at one place. The man asked the woman, "What is your aspiration when you were young?" And the woman said, "I want to get rich when I grow up." And the man asked, "So have you reached? Have you made your dream come through?" And she replied, "About 3/4. Well, that's not bad. Oh, but in Chinese. So the Chinese is like lots of money rolling in, but without the money, it becomes round and fat. So it's an idiom. Okay, let me share a few jokes and this will be the end for today. The difference between pigs and human beings. Pigs are always pigs, but the human beings are sometimes not human. Whether people talks or farts, the key is to let the gas out. So the formula of living a long life is to continue breathing. Illnesses come from the mouth, and disasters comes out from the mouth. So it's safest to close our mouth. Even when yesterday is very good, we cannot go back. And doesn't matter how hard tomorrow is, you have to continue. There's if you want to make your boss happy, then fake it. If you want to make the crowd happy, then just show off. If you want to make yourself happy, then you just dream on. 6 things about human life. To your superiors, you say beautiful words. to your subordinates, you say the dirty things to your... Yeah, sorry.
เอามานี่ไปนี่ห้อง
เอามานี่ไปนี่ห้อง